Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Silke and today I want to talk about the subject that originally gave me the idea to call this channel Escaping the Pleasure Trap. The pleasure trap is an interesting thing because it's too high for YouTube. It's the reward system in the brain which gives us good feelings whenever we do something that's good for survival, but we manage to manipulate it by inventing high calorie, high fat foods, that kind of stuff. And we're also able to manipulate it in modern society by having everything so convenient. And The Pleasure Trap is actually a book by Dr. Ellen Goldhammer and Dr. Douglas Lyle, and I stole the name for this channel from that book, and it's about food addiction, really. The pleasure trap is responsible for us choosing the wrong foods, for eating stuff that makes us fat and sick and tired and depressed and all these kind of things. And you actually have the opportunity to be a lot happier in life, to lead a much more satisfying life, if you do not give in to those pleasure trap foods or pleasure trap things. And pleasure trap things, in my opinion, is consuming, buying all the time without thinking about what you need just because something is on sale, and all this convenience. We're much happier when life is a little more challenging, really. And today I want to talk about the subject of food addiction because I read an interesting book last night. I'm still reading it. It's by a psychologist named Julie M. Simon, and she writes about what you're supposed to do in situations when food addiction or a food binge hits you. That used to happen to me. It doesn't anymore, since I stick to a whole food plant-based diet without nuts and especially without sugar. Sugar is my worst enemy, really, which leads to food binges and stuff. And other psychologists, there's a German psychologist. She advises people to write down their feelings in the moment where a binge occurs. And I find that really doesn't work at all. As valuable as it might be to find out about the feelings I'm having at the moment where I'm about to binge, I don't want to write my feelings down. I want to escape my feelings. That's the most important thing, the reason for the binge anyhow. But Julie Simon says that in the moment where your brain, your reward system, decides to go on a binge, you actually really need somebody who nurtures you, like you've been nurtured as a child. And in case you haven't been nurtured as a child, like me, you need to do that yourself. The issue with me is that I am the oldest of two sisters. My sister is 5 years younger than me, and when she was born, she was already sick. She was always sick, and my mother taught me day in, day out, always, like from dusk till dawn, that my sister's feelings and my sister's needs were first, and that I had to respect that, and I had to stand by. And I never got my needs fulfilled, really, emotionally. And maybe, I don't really remember that, but it could be that at the moment where I didn't get my feelings or my needs fulfilled, my mother just handed some kind of chocolate or sugary food to me, and that was the nurture, the fulfillment that I got, and that was it. So nowadays, even as a grown-up, whenever I'm overwhelmed and whenever I feel like I'm losing control in my life, I tend to want sugary foods, and I cannot stop eating them.
That has improved since I quit eating sugar altogether. That was 175 days ago, something like that. But when I read that last night, I figured that could be an option. Actually, nurture myself, give myself what I would have wanted as a child, what I probably still want. Somebody to tell me, everything's going to be good, or you poor thing, I understand your distress, but I'm here for you, something like that. And that is something I would actually want at a moment where a food binge is about to occur, and opposed to writing down my feelings and facing my feelings, what I don't want. So by talking to myself, talking to my inner child, I would be able not to face my feelings, but to also medicate them, which I've been doing with sugary foods. And that's an option that I could see for myself in that moment. Although I still have to say, in food addiction, it's really the emotional issues are about 15 or maybe 20%. I would say they are not really that prominent. The biggest issue is still the food, and that's a lot easier to control than all the underlying emotional causes, where you have to dig deep down into your childhood and try to shrink yourself and see what's going on in your mind. It's a lot easier to simply control what you're eating. And just abstain the sugar and maybe even the fat or whatever trigger food someone has. So yeah, that's an interesting book. I really, if you suffer from food addiction or emotional eating, that kind of stuff, it's really a good idea to look into the book, The Emotional Eater's Repair Manual by Julie M. Simon. It's a really good buy and a good read. Okay, that was it for today. I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching. See you around. Bye.